Good morning, everyone. This is the CS and PM monthly, and it is August 14th. And we are going to chat a little bit about the updates that we have from a product, the product side. So the group and subgroup level dependency list, we've released this behind a feature flag in 16.2. In 16.3, this will be available by default. It is the MVC, and we have future iterations coming that will include things like filtering and searching, but we will have this available by default in 16.3. And then also in 16.3, explain this vulnerability will be in beta. So we have made some enhancements since that experiment, both from an infrastructure standpoint, a security standpoint, but what customers will be seeing is they'll be able to see a preview of their prompt. We've added in some quick security checks just to make sure that no secrets are included in the prompt that include part of the code. And users can also select if they want to exclude the code from the prompt, but still use that AI feature. And then they can also give feedback so directly in the drawer that pops out for explain this vulnerability. And then Sam, I'll turn it over to you to talk a little bit more about scan result policies and what's coming.
Yeah, so some of these are starting to roll out already, but in 16.3, we're working to add some additional filters, including the age filter and also the attribute filter. The attribute will support filtering out things like vulnerabilities that do not have a fix available. So you can exclude those from your approval criteria. Also using age, you can create policies with like pre-existing vulnerabilities to require developers to fix those after a certain period of time. So for example, you could say, prevent new merge requests from coming in unless they fix any criticals that have been in the default branch for more than 7 days, for example. So again, those are rolling out already on GitLab.com and scheduled to finish rolling out by the end of 16.3. And then just improvements to the scan result policy approval accuracy. Double check. Yeah, so in the past, we were only looking at the latest pipeline, and that caused problems for certain scenarios where customers were using merge request pipelines and they had some scans in merge request pipelines, but then you also have regular push pipelines, or you could also even have scheduled pipelines. And so this new logic helps account for those cases better by instead looking at the latest pipeline for each type of pipeline. And then it pulls the latest security report across all of those for each type of scan. So that way, if you're running DAST scans in a scheduled pipeline job and secret detection in another, and it's going to pull those reports from all of those different types. And then bot users will be created in projects. So in the past, we were using the user identity of the person who created the first security policy, essentially, to execute the scan execution jobs. The problem is if that person ever leaves the company, then those jobs would stop running. And so we're switching that over to just use a bot user so that it's more reliable and you don't have to worry about who's setting it up to be confident that those will run. And then F, this one is for DAST. So we have our on-demand DAST scans. In the past, there's been no way to choose what type of runner is used to execute those DAST jobs. So we added a new dropdown and a new option into those DAST profiles to let you select what runner tags you want to choose. It's optional. Obviously, you don't have to put that in. But if you want to choose which runners execute those on-demand DAST jobs, you can do that now. And then G, I'll turn it over to Sarah to talk about that one.
Sure. So we're adding Java V21 support, which is the latest LTS version for dependency and license scanning.
Great, some awesome things coming in 16.3. Does anyone have any questions before we conclude the public portion?
Yeah, I have a question. When you mentioned group subgroup level dependency list, you said more filters and search.
Mhm.
Search. Really true. Like I can find
So search
for my
is
local thing.
coming, search is coming in like future versions. We're also adding
Yeah.
the enhanced searching capability of the vulnerability report, and we're looking at it across vulnerability report, dependency lists, and at the project and group level. But yeah, having that ability to search will eventually come. It's not coming in like immediately succeeding iterations, but it is on the roadmap for this year.
Okay,
Yep.
super. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions before I stop the recording? Great. All right.